Hey, welcome back to Mass Effect 2 Legendary Edition. So, once again, let's just jump right into the last 4 side quests. Galen is surrounded by an extensive ring system. The inner rings are composed of pulverized nano-manufactured carbon materials, thought to be the remains of an helium-3 mining facility. Atheni, presumably one of the species that's long since dead, probably centuries ago, or millennia ago, maybe hundreds of thousands of years ago. The few pieces of larger debris found indicate a materials technology at least equal to the current galactic state-of-the-art. The outer rings consist of water ice, silicate dust, and the odd bit of rock. Analysis of the debris often show shock damage and evidence of rapid heating. Some parahistorical theorists insist that the outer rings represent debris from a moon or moons destroyed by mass accelerator bombardment. This has been rejected by every reputable xenoarchaeologist. While it is theoretically possible to destroy a small moon utterly with dreadnought bombardment, no species sees compelling reason to do so.
Probe launched.
Fair. Even the Reapers generally don't do that sort of thing. Ifo is a rocky world with an atmosphere of oxygen and carbon dioxide. There are large craters scattered across its surface, obviously from hypervelocity kinetic impactors. Stretching between these locations are the shattered remains of magnetic levitation rail lines, which strongly suggest the craters represent the former locations of Artheni mining outposts or other settlements. The equatorial region contains an extensive network of canyons formed by the planet's abundant liquid water. Travel advisory: Efo's atmosphere is approximately 41% carbon dioxide at sea level. This level is 4 to 6 times that necessary to render most species unconscious within a few minutes of breathing it. Breathing masks must be worn at all times when on the surface of Efo.
Probe launched.
Tidally locked to the star Zelene, Nepima has the expected hot pole and cold pole. Along the terminator is a thin band of nearly habitable terrain. Unfortunately, the local biosphere is based on a chlorinated oxygen atmosphere. It is not sophisticated, but it has proven highly dangerous. The Asari surveyor Viralis landed on Nepima in 1684 to study the local ecology. Unbeknownst to the crew, a handful of native chlorine-fixing microbes passed through the biohazard screening and entered the ship. The Viralis returned to the port of Nos Parnalo on Ilium, where the Nepiman microbes escaped into a temperate environment with plentiful, unused chlorine. The microbes devoured the chlorides in the earth. As metametallic byproducts, they produced toxic polychlorinated biphenyls, PCBs. By the time the infestation was contained, an area of nearly 30 square kilometers had been effectively turned into a toxic waste dump. Nos Parnalo had to be abandoned, accelerating the development of Nos Astra. Interesting.
Away.
Interesting stuff.
I have detected an anomaly.
Hilheim is a post-garden world that once enjoyed an Earth-like oxygen-nitrogen atmosphere. It is still blessed with plentiful water, but a generally cold climate and extreme seasonal shifts courtesy of a 38-degree axial tilt. Hilheim is thought to be the homeworld of the Arthen, a spacefaring species which disappeared approximately 300,000 years ago. Precisely what happened to Hilheim is still under debate. It appears a global extinction occurred, wiping out all native animal life forms more complex than zooplankton. Plant forms were not affected, but the lack of oxygen-breathing life caused oxygenation of the atmosphere. Plant life was reduced after lightning storms ignited global wildfires. The leading theory for Hilheim's devastation is an out-of-control biological weapon. For this reason, landing is strictly prohibited. The corporations of Ilium have in place a network of quarantined satellites to dissuade would-be looters from landing in the crumbling cities.
Detected in orbit. All units report to ready stations for possible anti-invasion protocol. Repeat. Unidentified ship detected in orbit. All units report to ready station.
Launching probe.
So
Scans
not
have
killed
gone
by
through.
so probably not wiped out by the Reapers. I guess the Reapers probably just came in and finished the job by wiping out whatever cities they had left on other planets. Mercenary activity detected inside a mining facility on planet surface. Facility confirmed, registered to Eldfell Ashland Energy Corporation. Eclipse presence confirmed. Distress beacon powered down at site. Sensors detect multiple spacefaring vessel launches from facility. Thane. Thane and Zaid, why not? Kinda wish I could take these 2 points out of throw to put into shredder ammo, but of course, this game decided for some damn reason that you need certain number of points in first skill in order to get a second skill. Just so annoying.
Change weapons.
Rearming. A moment.
Got it.
Medic for him.
Switch up.
And unfortunately, I won't have any special ammo for myself this time around. I wonder if I should take Jack's heavy ammo bonus power. These bugs seem to get around. The joys of reusing resources. Shipping log. Cargo ship Tur Elan docked and received a large shipment of resources en route to a facility in the Draenic system. Tur Elan requested escort for the shipment, claiming pirate activity along the route. And here's where the fighting starts. Yeah, so something easy to start with. It is going to get a little bit harder as I go along. Nothing too tough. I should mention off screen I did some more shopping, which is why I am down to 1,200 credits at this point. And hey, I'm over 100,000 element zero. 1,000,000 of palladium, iridium, platinum, and 100,000 element zero. Nice. Alert! We are under mercenary attack. Escort civilians to crew quarters, then return to the work area to protect the main computer at all costs. Alright, things are about to get a little bit tougher.
Excellent shot.
Come on. Come on now.
Go now to the sea. One falls.
He's not dead. Okay, now he's dead. I was about to say, I can see he's not dead. But, that did it. So I don't think any more enemies come just yet. I think I'm clear to do a little bit of searching around. Or not.
Nail! Who's next?
So, 138. I may have picked a bad time to use my heavy weapon. Not sure I'll be able to get it to where I want. Jerks. Interrupting me while I'm just trying to take a look around. Okay. So that will get the next set of enemies coming. Bridge control, probably don't want to use that at this point. That would just let the enemies keep coming. Yeah, I'd love to get my cane back up to... What I should do is equip the heavy weapon ammo bonus so that I can get it up to 200 heavy weapon 200%, which would give me 2 shots to gain. But I'm not actually sure that I'll actually be able to reach that. This might actually be a good spot for Thing to stay.
Understood.
Because I'm about to have some company. And they're going to be coming from all directions. Location of last report from Terralon encrypted. Cargo ship Terralon docked and received a large shipment of resources en route to the facility in the Draenix system. Terralon requested escort for the shipment. Yeah. So that Asari just flew right off.
We need a medic! Man down!
Hope that catch them, but
Grab cover! Firing an impact shot!
alright, where's some... Do I have any ammo? Not seeing any.
Get ready to burn! Perfectly in the eye.
And decryption complete, it looks like. The decrypted data is incomplete. Further details are required to trace the Terralon's location. The data has been sent to Cerberus for further analysis. Well, darn. And before I go... Oh, there it is. So yeah, that's why you don't want to extend the bridge too early, is then you just get enemies coming around to the other side. So that was actually really easy. Apparently there's a glitch. If you are standing on that bridge when you hit B to end the mission, it kills you and results in a critical mission failure. Which is weird. Recovered data referring to the Terralon's location, more decryption needed. And that's the end of that. What's that? Ooh, 15,000 credits. Nice. 4,000 plating. So, even before doing this mission, there are news reports on the Citadel in Ilium, mentioning that the wreckage of the Terralon has been located in the Draenix system. So, Any email from that? Nope. And those 15,000 credits are kind of appreciated because I was actually running pretty low on credits. I spent more than I probably should have, realistically. That very well may get me through the rest of the game. That number of probes. Alright. I've explored exactly none of the Minos frontier so far. Minos Wasteland. Oh, it's a very small cluster.
Anomaly
Not much here.
detected.
This isn't even... Alright, I'll be back to that one. Gonna case this because there's... I know there's nothing there. So just to do the scanning. For completion's sake. Temeraris. Visible in Invictus night sky is Temeraris, a planet named for the Turian spirit said to have inspired the crew of their first manned moon launch. Ooh, nice. A boiling hot rock planet, Temeraris is much hotter than its temperate neighbor due to a thick atmosphere rich in carbon dioxide and helium. Its hot surface is largely composed of boron. Surrounded by a thick dust cloud, Temeraris is often struck by small meteors, making exploration dangerous. Fun fact,
Launching probe.
we are actually running low on helium in the real world. Invictus. Very much a Roman-inspired, a Roman-sounding name. It's, you can see how much the space Romans applies to Turians, with names like Invictus. Home to dextroamino acid-based life, Invictus temperate zones were settled by a Turian population that initially fell prey to a bewildering number of diseases. 2 decades after its first colony was founded, its population had reduced by half due to fatalities and a large colonist exodus. But when the Primarchs considered ceding the planet to robo-mining interests, the Turian statesman Shastina Empress ambitiously declared that she would start her own colony and double its population within 5 years. This effort succeeded, largely due to the colony's location in deserts with a minimal number of pest species. The image of Shastina's triumph in the frontier made for good political theater, and the Turian population poured in. The planet's tropical belt still remains largely unexplored, as its aggressive organic life still wreaks havoc on Turian biology. A house in an Invictus jungle is a modern Turian phrase for an idea that seems like a good idea, but only to the one that came up with it. Invictus' atmosphere is primarily nitrogen and oxygen, and its surface crust varies but has high concentrations of alumina and silver. Because it can support life easily, criminals from throughout the Terminus systems hide out on Invictus. Its official population is estimated to be half the number of sapients that are actually on the planet. Neat. And yes, Invictus in Latin means unvanquished or unconquered. So, yeah, actual Latin word there that they used. Colony founded in 1939. Population 320,535,000. Estimated 640 million with illegals. Capital, Shastanacio.
Probe launched.
Alright. So there's no good reason to go to that system, frankly. You should be able to do all the mining you need to, all this planet scanning you need to, without going, like, get all the resources you need without ever bothering going to that system. I went there for completionist sake. Though Pietas has a combination of features that make terraforming a possibility, the rights to the planet have been tied up in Citadel Council courts for the past 8 years. The running joke is that by the time the Council finally gives the go-ahead to colonize the planet, Pietas will have evolved life of its own. Home to comfortable temperatures and a mild atmosphere of mostly nitrogen and argon, Pietas could be habitable with the addition of oxygen-producing cyanobacteria. Its crust is high in silicates and carbon, allowing for easy fabrication of construction materials. Smugglers, pirates, and other unregistered starships sometimes touch down on Pietas to lay low or make repairs. Civilian travel is not advised.
Probe launched.
A pressure cooker planet with a thick nitrogen-heavy atmosphere, Vir is largely ignored by the galactic community. Probes have revealed a crust of nickel and scorched carbon, both of which can be found in abundance elsewhere at far lesser temperatures.
Probe launched.
And Equitas.
Anomaly detected.
Which also sounds pretty Latin. Alright, home to the famous Iron Canyons, Equitas has reddish iron oxide dust, hematite, covering much of its surface, and significant blue cobalt deposits that freckle the terrain. Turian explorers have discovered hot springs in the polar ice caps, heated by magma in the planet's crust. In a strange combination of science and hucksterism, a small facility exports water from these springs, which is bottled and sold as having medicinal properties. The funds are then used to maintain a research station, which has discovered some fossil evidence that Equitas once harbored microscopic life based on deoxyribonucleic acids in these springs.
Beacon triggered by the Universal Distress Protocol.
Neat.
Unregistered user or record damaged. Status is not known. Beacon triggered by Universal Distress
Probe
Protocol.
away. Something on our sensors.
Surface scans report potential alien signatures from within the mining facility. Anomalous life signs detected. Whereabouts of facility staff unknown. This one is actually pretty wild. Like, this is maybe the toughest side quest in the game. Yeah. Should have removed pull from her. I'll get one more level, so yeah, I'll be able to get level 4 shockwave, so I'll need to hit up the kind of wishing I had been able to do this one. As I'll give her pull 2 now. I'll probably end up hitting up the Shadow Broker ship just at some point, just to... Yeah, I don't know. Depends on how much I plan on using her. I don't use her all that much, so I might just... whatever. Yep, you guys saw that too, right?
I got it.
Switch up.
Gotcha.
Credits. And noises. Those noises might sound a little bit familiar. So, Shockwave, for the record, is why I brought Jack along. There's a lot of husks in this level. A lot. If you're reading this, get the hell out of this place. Now!
Hello. Deadly
One down.
Shockwave is extremely effective against husks. It is basically an insta-kill. There we go.
new victim.
Nothing can stop me!
I've already seen a lot. It is going to get worse. All right.
Trouble incoming!
Nothing can stop me!
Yeah, the exploding ones sure are a lot of fun, eh? And that screaming, so good. Alien machine discovered. So that tells you what's going on here. Smithson's men dug out some kind of alien machine today, like nothing I ever saw. Called up some of my contacts and found out there's a market for this kind of thing. Looks like some squints over at Alana's risk control are willing to part with a ton of credits to get their hands on one of these things. Far be it from me to deny them a chance to pay me. A strange clue. Cooper and Jorgensen say they saw that damned alien thing glowing, and hell if I'm going near it to prove them wrong. I don't get paid enough to expose myself to weird alien artifacts. I have to admit, though, that's an awful pretty sound coming from that back room. Something's different. Kupu, Jorgensen, and them ain't doing so well. Not feeling so good myself either. Stay near the machine, feel better. Not sure I want to let them, Alana's folk, take it. Think it should stay right here with us.
Signature deep within the mines. It appears the device is the source of the husks. It is likely that destroying it would stop them.
Feel the blood!
Wow, that one missed. Wide shot range would have been ideal for this one, but sure there's supposed to be an end to them at some point. Oh, you jerk, I completely missed you. Ah. So we've got a pause to them at least. But not actually an end. Don't do that yet.
It's about to get fun.
Burn and die!
I'm sure you can see as well why I bring Grunt along for this.
Mark.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of husks here. Is that all of them yet? Can I open that locker now? Yeah, if you try to open that locker, this locker beforehand, you'll get sworn by husks, and basically you'll just get knocked out of the bypass and locked out of it. Alright, anything else down here? Looks like no. Bombs. Not quite ready for those yet. There we go. So yeah, this mission can be... And yeah, this is the other way you can go. There are two ways to get over to this room. Yeah, you can sort of go up the ramp, or you can come down here. The ramp, I find going up top is a little bit better, just because it's a tighter area, so you have better control over the enemies. And yeah, normally this mission can be downright scary. Just the sheer number of husks. That's funny. Destroyed Reaper indoctrination device. Yep, another one of those things. We saw a few of those back in... we saw one or two of those back in 1. I think 1. One of them in Mass Effect 1. So... Yep, that one's fun. That's not like, this is another mission where the first time you do it is downright freaking scary. Just because, and honestly, it scared me other times. Like, this is the easiest time I've ever had doing it. But yeah, especially your first time doing it, yeah, just the sheer number of husks, and depending on what class you're playing, oh boy. If you're not playing the right class, it will be an absolute nightmare. I do find that like Shockwave does make that so much easier, especially if you've got a nice short cooldown. And now I can finish scanning this cluster. Refill my fuel first. Yeah, that one's a long way out. And there's nothing actually here. Again, I'm here just for the sake of scanning the planets. Gaius is another methane ammonia gas giant, very similar to its near twin Uzan. It presents a nearly featureless robin egg blue face to the universe.
Launching probe.
Not much of a description. Jeez. Natus lies improbably close to the red dwarf Chrysorite. This allows it to approach habitability, though it is quite frigid. It is tidally locked with a hot pole and a cold pole. Along the terminator, and the temperature averages just above freezing. On the lee side, the temperatures are well below freezing. Natus has developed a limited native ecology. Much of it clusters, permanently attached, around geothermal vents. There are, however, more advanced forms of life. Several arthropodal herbivore species wander back and forth across the terminator, as they require nutrients available in both environments for sustenance. More dangerous are the omnivorous predator species that devour the arthropods. Most animal species on Natus has limited vision, but finely developed thermal cells.
Probe away.
Neat! As always, I just love how much detail they put into the setting, into building the setting. Theanax's surface is covered by water and ammonia hydrate ices, which are constantly repaved and by cryovolcanic processes. The world's size and density suggest the core contains heavier elements, and retains much of the heat of the system's formation.
Probe away.
Let me back out of the planet. It's happened a couple times. A typical methane ammonia gas ice giant, Uzan, has 37 moons of various sizes. Chithus, one of the largest, orbits at a retrograde, suggesting it was a planetesimal that was captured by the gas giant gravity well. The planet itself is believed to be an extrasolar capture as well, though millions of years before Chithus came on the scene. Evidence collected by planetary geologists suggests that Chithus was for many centuries a water world, heated by tidal flexing as its orbit circularized around Uzan. The planetary ocean, once hundreds of kilometers deep, must now be frozen solid. Some have recommended drilling test bores to see if life ever developed in Uzan seas, but the question is considered academic.
Probe away.
So, academic questions are interesting. Sometimes. There it is. Tinoth is little more than a glorified ice dwarf that has drifted inwards from Chrysorite's Oort cloud over the millennia. Its extremely elliptical orbit is ultimately unstable. Computer projections suggest it will impact the atmosphere of Gaius in a few billion years. So get your vacations in soon, people. Boro is a young Volus colony world, settled in defiance of a threat by Terminus pirate groups. The pirates, who can't use the world themselves, have suggested that the Volus hire them to protect the colony. The Volus responded by requesting military protection from their Turian allies. Although uncomfortably hot by Volus standards, Boro has the rare combination of high pressure and ammonia ecology Volus required. Development of the colony is proceeding rapidly. Founded 2180, capital population only 1,617 so far, so it is pretty small so far. Capital of Yila.
Probe away.
An airless rock of mixed light ores, Raysaurus is only of note for the Terrienu impact crater. A relatively recent asteroid strike within the last million years, the core of the object was partly composed of element 0. It struck at a low enough velocity that the ESO remained near the surface. Over the years, many pirates and wildcat miners have attempted to extract the ore. It is believed that the Terrienu debris originated in the pulsar system AAP34211+19. The supernova that formed the pulsar also created the Red Emission Nebula that human spacers have unofficially named the Sakura Nebula.
Probe away.
Lots of element 0 on that one. Riskel is a massive hot Jupiter gas giant that whips around the star Satan once every 4.5 days. Like most planets of its type, it migrated inward from its initial position in the system, thought to be around 0.3 AU. Riskel is one of the few close-orbiting gas giants to show a marked temperature difference in its sun-facing and dark-side hemispheres. The atmosphere absorbs and re-radiates Satan's heat too quickly for winds to carry the heat to the dark side. There's a temperature difference of over 1,000 degrees between the gas giant's hot and cold poles.
Probe launched.
That is a quick orbit. Anidia is a small ice body with very low density. Its mass is only 4% that of Earth. It appears to be composed mainly of carbon and water ice, but over the millennia it has accrued a trace atmosphere of krypton and xenon. While Anidia's gravity is weak enough that a cruiser could land on it safely, there is no particular reason one would want to. Pirates have been known to land to recover ice for cracking into hydrogen and oxygen. One area in the southern hemisphere, the so-called Anidian Scrapes, is so frequently used for this purpose that higher albedo raw ice can be easily seen from orbit.
Probe away.
An unremarkable methane ammonia gas giant, Nitisa would be of no consequence if it weren't the only approachable gas giant in the Satan system. Boros Volus colony has set up a few automated ice cracking stations around the planet, and Narhu Combine has been contracted to set up a helium-3 extraction facility. Construction has lagged due to the CEO's arrest in a kickback scandal that reaches to the highest levels at the Vol Ministry of the Frontier.
Probe launched.
Yep. Corruption is universal.
We have used half our fuel.
It's fine, Edie. I'll be able to get back to the other system in time. With an orbital period nearly 2 millennia long, the cold and distant Virissa was actually missed in the initial Asari survey of the system. Only a follow-up mineral assay sent to Canalis by a Volus mining concern noticed its subtle movement across the stars. Virissa is a methane ammonia ice giant, circled by a retinue of deep frozen moons. Its remoteness makes it a popular drive discharge point for pirates working for the Pyros Nebula cluster. In the last 2 years, several dozen ships have disappeared while passing through the Dorada system. As Pylos is currently unclaimed by any sovereign power, Council naval patrols are few and far between. Thus far, none of the pirates responsible have been apprehended.
Probe away.
Oh, there's a lot of planets in this system. Ooh, so much reading. Standard hydrogen helium gas giant, Cineas has more than 80 moons. Wow, they got lazy describing this one. Zeth is a common hydrogen helium gas giant. An abundance of sulfur in the upper atmosphere gives it distinct yellow stripes.
Launching probe. Anomaly detected.
Alright, so that's the... Scan that last. Cyano, named for an ancient Asari philosopher known for being a contrarian, orbits Dorada at a retrograde. It is believed to be an object that fell into the system millions of years ago from parts unknown. The outermost of Dorada's two inner asteroid belts is thought to have been a small planetoid that was broken up by Cyano's passage into the system. Cyano is formed of low-density rock and is tidally locked to Dorada. The same hemisphere always faces the star. There is evidence that a complex of artificial structures once existed in the north of the sunward-facing hemisphere, but they have been badly degraded by millennia of heat and radiation. Several bunkers of radioactive waste, apparently byproducts of primitive fission plants, have been discovered on the far side. Well, that part's interesting. So did people once live on that planet? The New Sea is a small, barren rock. Though there is evidence that it once had an atmosphere of carbon dioxide, only trace amounts of krypton and xenon remain. Like Cyano, it is tidally locked to Dorada.
Launching probe. Anomaly detected.
Canalus is smaller than Earth, but has unusually high density. The high level of tectonic activity indicates that the density is caused by an abundance of radioactive materials in the core. These, combined with the planet's unusually high rate of spin, raise the planet's internal temperature and cause volcanism. While several companies performed mineral assays in the late 2170s, the world's geological instability precluded development.
Probe away. Something on our sensors.
Interesting noises. Sensors detecting anomalous weather patterns on the planet's surface. Geth activity detected. Recommend extreme caution. Yeah. Overload. And her save up for energy drain, because it's going to be the most useful. And Garrus, unfortunately, will not be able to get points in any other skills. He has reached his max. He'll get one more power point, or squad point, which will end up being completely and totally unused. Ooh.
Switch up.
Back to the rifle for him. Back to the sniper rifle for him. It's going to be useful.
Change weapons.
Can do.
Yeah. No visibility. Can't see it. Can't see anything. Yeah, it's tough just because you can't see them.
Fire in the hole!
Their shields are mine. We've got trouble.
Never saw me coming! Fire in the hole!
There's surprisingly little ammo drops as well.
Go get them, Chatika. Good girl.
Yeah, there's just a lot of get there is frustrating as well. I wanted to go back down here to check if there was anything I missed. I think this probably would have been the better path to go down in the first place. Yep, a couple bits of palladium. Oh. And there might be more palladium. That doesn't really matter if there's more palladium. The palladium, of course, genuinely doesn't matter. I've got an infinite amount as it is. Yeah, I'm not going to bother looking for any more palladium. There is a fair bit more palladium to find, as you can see. I'm not going to bother actively looking for it. If I stumble on it, I'll pick it up, but there is a fair bit of it to find.
We've been spotted.
Yeah, things get a little bit tougher now. Okay, I just made giblets of a robot. That doesn't seem like it should be possible. But that is the best way to handle enemies with flamethrowers. Try to hit the tanks, the gas tanks. Yeah, not a particularly tough level. Not too complicated or anything.
This might be useful.
Recovered climate change technology. Bonus to shields. Nice. Shields and barriers. So yeah, I missed like 800 palladium. I wasn't gonna bother actively looking.
No messages for you, Commander.
Damage protection. Useful. So yeah, shield barriers are at armor depending on which one the characters have. Sorry, just give me a second here. I'm going to. Spare heavy weapon ammo by 10%. Alright, so I'm gonna go with this one. Because getting 200% heavy weapon, 200% for the cane, getting 2 shots for the cane, might be useful for the final boss. Alternatively, it might actually end up being more than I need. At least on normal difficulty. In the Valhalla threshold? There is not, so I'll quickly just do all the planets in the Valhalla threshold. There's no side missions or anything here. So I'll just pop through it real quick. Garvug. In 354 CE, Garvug was considered a bargain world, given to the Krogan to placate them because no one else wanted to live on such a frozen rock. Technically a life-bearing world, Garvug had a small farm belt around its equator and well-insulated marine life in its seas. By the turn of the century, the Krogan had completely adapted, breeding hundreds of younglings per family in vast underground bunkers. By the turn of the next century, Garvik's narrow strips of coral reef had been destroyed by overfishing and pollutants, and excess Krogan took to the stars to find another planet to consume. Garvik was treated as an object lesson by the Citadel Council. The Krogan could not be trusted to check their own numbers. Is this the, Today, Garvik is a frozen wasteland, home to corporate eco-engineering efforts trying to implement sustainable agri- and aquaculture practices. Krogan and Vorcha packs are a constant threat, and the corporations pay mercenaries well to keep their operations safe. Was this the planet I talked about earlier that had the... Yes. So yeah, this is the... I told you earlier about the corporate coup that overthrew the government of Garvik in order to get access to secret Prothean technology. So.
Probe launched.
Can't even see the cluster in there, or the system in there. You only know it's there because of the arrow. Duma, home to 51 moons, including the prebiotic moon Anaphiel. Duma is a standard hydrogen-helium gas giant with violent surface winds exceeding 1900 kilometers per hour. Like its sister planet Elohi, it is believed to be an extrasolar capture.
Probe launched.
Oh yes, there's all the planets in this system are in the asteroid belt. A small hydrogen-helium gas giant formed around a metallic hydrogen core, Elohi will be the site of a rare astronomical event later this year. The comet Athara will come in on its orbit of 70 galactic standard years and travel so close to the giant that it is predicted to be captured as a moon. Dozens of space probes from around the galaxy have been launched into the Raheel system to record this moment. Elohi is within the frost line of its parent star, where gas giants do not usually form. For this reason, it is believed to be an extrasolar capture. Statistically significant number of distress signals have come from the 1 million kilometer mark around Elohi. Pirates are believed to be working the area. In-person tourism is not advised.
Probe away.
Not something we need to worry about. The largest of the Ezo trio, Israfil, is a silicate-heavy carbonaceous asteroid. It is home to approximately 40 species of microorganisms in its liquid water, and was blamed as the source of the prion-based biowarfare agent EHE, exotic humanoid encephalopathy, used by the terrorist group Totenkopf in their attack on Gagarin Station in 2184. While many in the scientific community protested that Israfil did not have sufficient atmosphere or evolutionary history to sustain life at the Prion level, the asteroid and its Ezo miners were nevertheless quarantined to reassure the public that the Systems Alliance was taking action. Though no evidence has yet been found that the EHE originated from Israfil, or was even synthesized in a local lab, the SSV Manila and a team of epidemiologists maintain watch over the asteroid's ship traffic for now. Population of 1,006.
Probe launched.
And lots of Ezo. And next one over here. One of a trio of asteroids formed around an element zero core, Farlas is the easiest to mine for low-yield Ezo. A carbonaceous asteroid, Farlas has a trace of water-bearing minerals and organic carbon in the form of kerogen. Currently, the asteroid is surrounded by Quarian mining ships extracting fuel for the flotilla.
Launching probe.
Interesting. We know they are in the just the next, well, not the next system, but we know they are in a nearby system. And there we go. Can be hard to find these ones. The second asteroid in the system, formed around an element zero core, Kakabel, is another carbonaceous asteroid with a surface made of hydrated minerals such as carbonates and clays. Beneath its icy surface is liquid water with some amino acids. The surface of Kakabel is pitted and scarred with strip mining stations, where the Quarians took as much ether as possible before moving on.
Probe launched.
Alright. So that's the Valhallan threshold. Cleared out. What else am I doing here? May as well finish up the Krogan DMZ. There's, none of these, systems actually have anything that I need to worry about. You might think Draenic might, considering the, stuff about the... what's it? The ship? But, nope. Vard is a methane ammonia ice giant. Until the Krogan rebellions, it had a sizable helium-3 fuel refining infrastructure. Once the solar arrays orbiting Nith were destroyed, the constant flow of anti-proton tankers visiting the system disappeared. There was little point to maintaining the facilities, so they were shut down and abandoned. Today, the ancient stations are squatted by transients, criminals, and outcasts. Although few are safe for habitation, neither the Krogan nor the Council Demilitarization Enforcement Mission patrols care if they take their chances. Population 1172. So,
launched.
Probably pretty similar to the, okay. Probably pretty similar to the space station that, that Rex fought Alita. I think it was Alita on. The Class B Blue Giant Nith was once the most strategically valuable system within Krogan territory. Though far too hot for habitable planets, Nith emits thousands of times the energy of a main sequence star like Earth's Sol. With help from Solarian uplift teams, the Krogan constructed a chain of solar power collector stations in orbit around Nith. These vast arrays beamed powered particle accelerators on the planet surface of Mantun, which manufactured anti-proton fuel for the warship thrusters. In the Krogan rebellions, the Spectre agents managed to get a virus into the computers of the solar power arrays. Every fifth array suddenly applied braking thrusters. The arrays behind them piled up, and all were reduced to wreckage. This has since dispersed into a relatively stable ring system. The Krogan never had the resources to rebuild the solar arrays, depriving them of their fleet's main fuel supply for the remainder of the war. The particle accelerators still exist on Mantun, but have not been used in thousands of years.
Launching probe.
And I suppose this... No, that was... Tula's methane ammonia atmosphere traps the blistering heat of Nith, driving dayside temperatures up over 1,000 degrees. While some loads of useful metals are present, the planet's incredible heat makes mining impractical.
Probe away.
Alright, Draenic. Yeah, given the, we hear about the Terra Lan from that other mission, you might have expected a mission on Draenic, but nope. Dor is a conventional methane ammonia ice giant. It is the main fueling port in the Draenei Cluster Gateway system. Pildea Station, the headquarters for the patrol ships of the CDEM, lies at the trailing Lagrange point of Door. The CDEM logs all ships passing through the Krogan demilitarized zone. It has the right to board and search them for any contraband at any time and for any reason. There are no exceptions. At points over the last 2 centuries, diplomatic incidents have been caused when the patrol frigates boarded an Asari hospital ship, a Batarian diplomatic courier, and privately owned human tramp freighters. These measures are provided for under the terms of the Krogan Armistice. While the Krogan were allowed to retain their government and personal weapons, any attempt to provide starship-mounted weapons to the clans on Tuchanka is punishable by law. Nearly a millennia after the war ended, the official penalty for smuggling prescribed weapons is still death by spacing. Population of 7,300 with 1,100 CDEM garrison additional, not including patrol ship crews.
Launching probe.
Kalum is a tectonically inert rock with an atmosphere of krypton, xenon, and argon. There are a few valuable lodes of light metal scattered across its surface, but these are difficult to find. Most were mined out in the years leading up to the Krogan rebellions.
Launching probe.
Sazgoth, new type of goth just dropped, is a small ice dwarf with an eccentric orbit. During perigee, portions of its icy surface sublimate into a thin atmosphere of nitrogen and carbon dioxide, which quickly freeze again as it proceeds into the outer reaches of the Draenei system.
Probe away.
It's got stuff around it. Once, Rothla was a large ice dwarf with the statistics listed below. In the waning years of the Krogan rebellions, it was shattered into a field of debris by what is assumed to have been the test of an exotic weapon system. In the wake of the event, the planetoid was reduced to a relatively contained field of thousands of tiny moonlets rotating around one another, colliding and ricocheting. The method used to destroy the planetoid has never been deduced. The Krogan clan who performed the experiment apparently all died in the event. Ships that have traveled to the edge of the event's light cone observed a moment of extreme gravitational lensing around Rothla immediately before its breakup, but no other clues. A popular extranet meme put forward by Asari author Delsay Orthesa insists that the Turians are covering up the existence of a Krogan superbiotic breed that was genetically engineered within Rothla. The CDEM enforces quarantine around the Rothla field, citing cases of amateur investigators whose ships came to grief in the debris field. That's just what they would want you to think.
Probe launched.
I think I've still got a couple clusters to finish up, but I'd like to finish scanning. Yeah, Shrike Abyssal. Hawking Ada. And Nubian Expanse. Alright. So I will save those for another time. For right now, let's do this one. This kind of crappy mission, if I'm honest. Nephros, Restless Sleep, is a relatively small hydrogen-nitrogen gas giant. Its atmosphere is home to spectacular winds of up to 350 kilometers an hour and electrical storms up to 700 times the power of those on Earth, which indicates that its hydrogen clouds contain moderate amounts of water vapor.
Launching probe.
lot of systems. Scorchingly hot planet close to its parent star, Quorum was bombarded by comets and asteroids during its earliest geological periods. As the solar system stabilized, these occurrences leveled off until the planet became geologically inactive. Its nitrogen and helium atmosphere is extremely thick due to heavy metals making the planet's core very dense. Unfortunately, these metals are deep below the crust, making mining impractical.
Probe away.
First charted by the Solarians, Tunfigel, Hard Heart, is noted for its platinum and uranium deposits, making robo-mining a lucrative activity. While the surface temperature is well within the range of a comfortable EVA excursion, the extremely dense Tunfigel generates a dangerous gravitational pull 5 times that of Earth. The Solarian miners, exploiting the planet, derisively nickname planets such as these Elcor tourist traps. That sounds mean, but also kind of funny. Antikythera fused metal is so named because of its spectacular craters. A planet high in various grades of iron oxide, Antikythera is regularly pummeled by loose asteroids in the nearby belt between it and Wenrum. The iron melted and fused by the incoming meteors makes for spectacular landscape shots that look alien no matter what part of the galaxy you may be from. However, due to frequent meteor impacts, exploration is considered highly dangerous even to those with advanced kinetic barriers.
Probe away.
Alungun, Deceptive, was so named by Solarian scouts because as their probes landed on the planet, their instruments started going awry. This turned out to be due to the high concentration of magnetically active Periclase, magnesia, in the core and crust of the planet. This interferes with scans and broadcasts, which has given rise to countless spacer stories of pirates lying in wait in Alungun's magnetosphere, or crash ships with untold fortunes stranded on the surface. In reality, any pirates would have a hard time locating prey amongst all the interference, and would live lives cut off from the rest of the galaxy as the magnetosphere kills extraplanetary communication. Alungun's other natural features are a thin atmosphere of carbon dioxide, spectacular dry ice formations, and xenon gas, which can be skimmed from the upper atmosphere and used in ion thrusters.
Probe launched.
There's the last planet I was looking for. Alright. Wenrum, White Knight, takes its name from a Solarian story in the Romantic period of a knight who refused all temptation of riches, carnality, and even flavorful food until justice was served to the poor and oppressed. The planet is so named because of its white, highly reflective surface, composed mainly of titanium dioxide and ice, and no atmosphere to speak of to dim its albedo.
Probe away.
So the Solarians have those types of stories too. That's kinda cute. Cerberus hotspot detected. The planet Daratar in the Faryar system is a suspected Eclipse smuggling site. Cerberus is interested in obtaining the materials kept at the site. Operatives will be paid handsomely for any intact crates retrieved from the site. Be aware that Eclipse would rather see the cargo destroyed than lose it to a rival organization. Payment will be made once the acquisition of undamaged crates is verified.
Probe launched.
And I guess I'll find the scanning afterwards. For this one, Garrison's Aid are the best bets, just because of their ammo powers, frankly.
Affirmative.
Got it.
So there's a couple ways to do this mission. The cheapest option is from, I think, right around here. You fire one of the, you fire a missile. You use the missile launcher because it tracks enemies. I couldn't get back to this.
Heads up!
Yeah, you see, I've already lost a, already lost 2 crates. Three crates. So yeah, you see, I lost 5 crates. And you saw how quick I was taking those things out. And I still lost 5 full crates. There is, like I said, if you use the missile launcher, you can, from the top of the ramp there, you can just sort of lure them over before you even set foot. Enemy ship spotted in orbit. IFF ID confirmed. Cerberus. Beginning farewell protocol. Engaging security systems. Destroy command received. Initiating cleanup routine. Routine initiated. Activating mech security. Mech security activated. Blocking access to terminals locked. Farewell protocol complete. Where there was one other console somewhere around here. But maybe not. Yeah, so basically from like right up there you can just fire a missile. It'll hit one of the dudes. Dude will come looking to see what's going on. You take it out, you move on to the next one. It is... Here we go. Had to perform another full maintenance check. Sand keeps getting into our equipment, increasing the frequency of system checks. We have to be ready to shut this place down if someone spots us from orbit. So yeah, that option is just sort of taking advantage of a bug, essentially. Another option is basically as soon as you get close enough, like as soon as you see the 3 mechs, you just fire a shot from the cane. Additionally, I didn't even notice it, but apparently when you first sort of touch down, you can actually see a pair of gunships taking off. Apparently you can actually shoot them with the cane. You get nothing for it. 15 of the 20 crates were saved. So. You lose 190 credits per crate lost. So I didn't do too badly. I lost a quarter, which is not great, but could be worse. Whoops. It's from Cerberus Command. Nice work on Daratar. Nice work. We knew Eclipse was hiding valuable cargo on Daratar, but we couldn't land without fear of their mercs destroying the crates. We've wired the credits into your account. Damn glad to have you with us, Shepard. Alright. So I've got Overlord. I'm kinda considering holding off on that, maybe until... Yeah, I'm considering holding off on that a little bit longer. I think I will do this next. I think I'll continue the actual story next. But for now, so yeah, that's all the side quests done. All of them. Every single one of them done. Finally. Just got Overlord, and then Overlord, the Reaper IFF, and then there will be 2 other missions. Plus the final mission. So, 3 missions after... I'm going to say Overlord, Reaper IFF. So yeah, five missions left. 5 missions left. Which will probably take about 6 episodes total. So for now though, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.